Hey, what's up, everybody? This your girl Kiki, and this is Kiki Pretty Life 23. What's up, y'all? This is your girl Kiki, and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, just want to say welcome. So this is going to be a part 2 series of my Christmas nails. So pretty much I came up with a sketch of my nails, as you can see here, and now I'm about to go ahead and get started. So I already did the acrylic base and everything, so if you want to see how I did that, you can check out part 1, which is basically just showing you how I do my acrylic nails. So just to get a little rundown, I did the acrylic process with a nude acrylic from Not Polished, and it's called Nude Me, and I did my nails in a medium almond length. So that's pretty much the type of nails I got, and that's going to be the base for this design here. And they're going to be all 3D art done with solid gel, so I'm really excited. Let's go ahead and get into it. So for the first design, we're going to go ahead and do the Little Debbie tree cakes here, because I feel like that just screams holiday-ish and nostalgia. Even though I never had one of these before in my life, like I love Little Debbie's when I was a kid, but you know, as a kid, Little Debbie tastes like fire, but as I became an adult, now it tastes like hard wax to me. Like, I don't know, it just don't taste the same. But that's because I also eat healthier and stuff like that, so eating that stuff, it's like, it tastes like play food. All right, I'm just gonna keep it real. But yeah, it's really pretty, nice and green and red, whites, different colors. So for the base, I'm gonna do an ombre. So I'm using this green color here from Madam Glam. A lot of the polishes that I'm gonna be using on my nails is from Madam Glam. So if you want to know what polishes I use, that's what I use. Now I would list all the colors that I'm using on this channel, but honestly, I just didn't really feel like listing all the colors. So if you want to know what specific colors, like the name of the colors that I'm using, just let me know in the comments below. Otherwise than that, yeah, that's what I'm using. The brand Not Polished. Madam Glam. So first things first, I'm gonna start off as an ombre. So I'm using this ombre brush because I don't feel like charging my airbrush machine, and plus I've been hearing that it's actually bad for you because the particles from the gel polish could get into your lungs and stuff, which is pretty bad because like this stuff ain't safe for your body. So I'm gonna be using an ombre brush and practicing with it. So this is my first time using an ombre brush, and it's coming out pretty good. You just gotta finesse it a bit. It's a certain method. Like I seen it all over YouTube on the shorts of, you know, those Asians doing this, and they be doing it flawlessly. So I'm like, I gotta get good at that, because to me it's a lot more easier than me using an airbrush, and it's more safer. So yeah, just ombreing it down the best I can. It's not gonna be a very smooth ombre, but because we're doing designs on top of it, it's not really even gonna matter. So but it looks pretty good for the fact that I'm doing it with a brush. You just got to keep the brush clean, because if not, the bristles could stick together and then it creates like these streaks that you don't want. So it's just a certain way that you got to work with it. So for the main base of all my designs, we're going to be using this solid gel to do all my candies and my sweets and stuff on top of my nails. So pretty much it's like Play-Doh, but once you hit it under the light, it kind of creates like this hard product. It's like pretty much close to acrylic. It's almost like a poly gel, it kind of reminds me of. But yeah, we're going to use that to make the Christmas tree for the Little Debbie cake. To make sure that I keep the product from sticking on me, because it is pretty sticky, I'm using 99% or 90% alcohol to make sure that it doesn't stick on me. So it just creates like a slip to it, so that way it makes it easier to form the product on my nail. So pretty much first I'm starting off with a ball, and then I'm going to form it into close to a tree as possible. And then once I get it to where I kind of want it, I'm going to put it on my nail, and then I'm going to form the tree on top of my nail. What also really helps is using a X-Acto knife. The X-Acto knife kind of just gives more cleaner cuts, and it just helps separate the product a little bit easier, because if I try to do it with like a stick or something, it's just gonna be a lot more difficult. So X-Acto knife kind of helps with that. If the product starts sticking onto the tool, what you can also do is dip it in the alcohol and then put it back on the product to form it, and it actually makes it easier because then it's not sticking onto the tool. So I did have to dip my X-Acto knife in the alcohol a few times just to make it easier for the stuff to not stick onto it. Alright, so after I got done forming the tree on my nail, I just cured it under the lamp for 60 seconds and to make sure that I keep it in place, because this stuff will move around and it will lose the shape after a few seconds. So you just want to make sure that you cure it, and then afterwards I'm just taking some white polish and creating the background, the frosting around the tree, and then I'm going to be using red and green polish to create the decorations on it. After I finish with the design, I'm just going to go ahead and top coat it. So for every design that I do, I'm going to top coat it afterwards. So that way that's one less stuff that I have to worry about. And on top of that, it'll help protect the design, because since gel polish is sticky, I don't want to risk getting any dust on it or anything while it's still sticky. So alright, so for my next design, I'm going to be doing a fruit cake. So again, I'm going to be doing an ombre base. So I'm using this brown glitter that I got from Madam Glam. This is a new one that I have, and it's really pretty because it has kind of like some holographic type of glitters sprinkled up in there, so it kind of gives it like a little dimension. But yeah, I'm going to be doing that as the base, and I have to do 2 coats of this one because it is a little sheer, so I did have to do a second coat to really bring out the color. And then I'm going to be taking a solid gel again, creating a big ball, because since we're making pretty much the whole cake, I'm going to make a big ball and then put a dot in the center and kind of form it into the fruitcake shape. So for some of the colors, I did have to make on my own, only because I did not have a specific color that I needed for some of these treats. So right now I'm making that base color for the fruit cake. So I'm adding some browns, some yellows, some beige in there. I'm going to little touch of red in there as well, just to create a more warmer type of look. But yeah, I had to make some of these, so I did have to play a little color theory to, you know, get the color that I wanted. Then after I cured that layer, now I'm just going to mix some brown with some clear to create almost like a jelly color, and that's going to make the cake look like it's baked. So you want to kind of create almost like that brown crust that some cakes leave when you get done baking it. So that's pretty much what I'm doing, is just kind of adding a little bit of extra detail into that, and then I'm going to also go ahead and cure it. So now to create the fruit of the cake, I'm taking really tiny pieces of the solid gel by creating like a little stick, and I like that hair was annoying the crap out of me. To me, I was so busy and focused trying to do my nails that I did not notice that hair there. So if y'all notice it there, I didn't know. Okay, but yeah, it was just there. Mine is business, so it is what it is. But I'm just taking like really tiny pieces, I mean close to maybe half of a grain of rice, and I'm gonna stick those onto the cake, and it sticks on pretty well as long as you have a sticky tacky layer, because I know some people have a hard time working with solid gel because they say it keeps falling off. If you put base coat on first, or if you leave the layer of the polish sticky, if it's sticky enough, it should just stick right on and it should not come off too easily. But that's what helped me. So just in case y'all struggling with that, try putting a base coat on first and see if that helps, because since the solid gel is just like poly gel and it sticks onto base coat, it should work about the same. But yeah, just taking those tiny pieces, sticking it on there, kind of flatten them a bit, and then I'm going to also cure that under the lamp. So now I'm going to take some of my colors, and I did have some jelly colors on hand. So I got some red jelly polish. I'm going to use that. I'm also going to use the yellow jelly polish that I have as well. And then I had a green color, a green polish that was already sheared almost like a jelly. So I didn't really have to add no clear to that. And I'm just going to paint each and every one a different color. Then after curing that, we're gonna go ahead and top coat it. So now for the next nail, I'm going to do the peppermint design. So what I'm doing is I'm going to do the tip red, and I'm using the same red polish that I used for the little Debbie Christmas tree cake. And I also started doing the base coat as well, because I felt like the base coat will help the color kind of fade out a little bit more easier, and also it's going to give it a more smoother fade. But this one did came out a little streaky, only because red is such a harsh color. So it was kind of hard to blend it a bit. I felt like it would have definitely worked better with the air spray gun. But I mean, you know, we put in peppermints on top of it anyway, so it won't really matter because it's going to camouflage it. So, but I did the best I could with this color. And then after that, I'm just going to take that solid gel and create my peppermint. So I'm starting off with a candy cane on the side there, creating that shape. And then I'm also going to take little pieces of the solid gel to create the peppermint candies. And the peppermint candies, when I was making them, it kind of reminded me how my great grandma, when I used to go to church with her, she used to have those, like, you know, little peppermints in the corner of her bag. And even though they was a little stale and had a little dust in them, I don't know why, but that just adds to the flavor. Like, you know, I don't know if it's just me, but them stale candies, man, I used to tear them up when I was a kid. But yeah, so like, yeah, it kind of reminded me of that. Alright, so then after I got done forming the candies, I went ahead and painted them white in the background, and then I took some red polish with a liner brush as well and started creating my stripes and the swirls for the peppermints and the candy cane. Okay, so now I'm going to get started on the gingerbread man. So pretty much same old thing, doing an ombre, and I'm going to be using a brown color. Now I felt like the brown color itself was a little too, blah. So I decided to add another type of polish as well. It's kind of like a white speckle polish, basically, just to add a little extra something in the back. Kind of looks like snow coming down on it. So that's exactly what I did. And then pretty much the same concept with the solid gel. I did the head first of the gingerbread man, and then I formed the body as well and formed that on top of my nail. So then I ended up making my own polish again, ended up mixing some colors together. I wanted a more deeper brown color for the gingerbread man, so I went ahead and mixed those colors together a little bit more to create this beautiful brown. And I went ahead and painted the whole body, and then for the details I used white polish and I used red polish for the dots. For the buttons. So now for the thumbs, I did not know what I really wanted to do with it, but I wanted to keep it very simple because if I did any 3D art on it, it will kind of get in the way. So I decided to do 2 coats of the holographic green glitter polish that I have from Madam Glam. I did 2 coats of that, and then I decided to do some foil art on it as well, just to kind of try it out, which it didn't really come out the best, but I just wanted to try it out. And plus I'm gonna end up switching it anyways. I might do it over before Christmas because I didn't really care for how it looked. Like, everybody else said that they liked it, but I was just like, I really don't care for it too much, but it goes with the theme, so I'm like, I might keep it, I might not. Foils and what else? Chrome and foils never last on my nails because when I'm using nail files and chemicals like alcohol and acetone and stuff, it does kind of mess it up a bit. And yeah, it just did not last on me. But basically I use a mixture of black polish and foil glue, so that way I could kind of see where to draw at. And then I took the foil and put it right on top of the polish, and it did come out pretty good as far as like all the foil staying on the polish. It just that it did came out a little wrinkly because when I mixed those two together, it kind of bubbled up when I cured it, so it did give it a little texture, which I guess it ain't too bad. It kind of goes with the design, but didn't really care for it, but it was something though. Alright, so now I'm going to get started on my right hand. Now, I had to really pray on it, y'all, because I hate doing designs with my left hand because the design don't really come out as good like the other side does because I'm doing it with my non-dominant hand. But y'all, I had to pray. So anyways, first things first, we'll go ahead and get started on the first finger. So I'm doing an eggnog design. So what I'm doing is adding the base color for this ombre, which is a mixture of yellow and white because I did not have a creamy white color. And this will be the perfect color for the eggnog anyways because that's the color of the eggnog. So in order to paint it on a little bit easier, I did have to clean this brush out from the yellow because if a little creamy white got onto it, it wouldn't really matter. It's not going to affect the whole bottle color, but I dang near ripped the whole thing off. So yeah, I used that to paint my custom color onto my nail just to get a more even distribution. I'm trying to say it right, but yeah, I mean, you get what I'm saying. All right, it's just gonna look more even when I do it with this brush. So I did that, blended it down with the ombre brush and cured that. So now I'm going to create the mug of the eggnog because I wanted to do something a little complex. So I decided to take a ball of the solid gel. I'm going to create kind of like a slight indent into it. And then I'm going to create the base, the body of the mug, cure that. And then I'm going to create the handle of it. So this is going to be pretty fancy, y'all. So right now I'm just forming it with whatever tools is going to help make it a little bit easier to form it. Make sure I'm dipping in alcohol again just to make sure that it doesn't stick. And then after it looks the way that I want it to look, I'm going to cure it. After curing the whole mug, now I'm going to go ahead and paint the whole thing gray as far as the outside of the mug here. I'm just using a light gray color, and then I did not show this part in the video later on, but I did end up painting the inside with the same cream color that I did the ombre background with that creamy yellowish type of color for the eggnog, that, you know, the liquid inside the mug. And then I cured that, but I had to cure it twice because it was such a thick amount that it would not penetrate throughout the whole thing. That's what she said. But after that, I made sure that it was cured enough throughout, because otherwise it would have been like soft on the inside. It's still kind of like liquidy. So I made sure I did that. And then for the whipped cream, it was kind of tricky. It was trial and error because I was trying different ways to create that, like, you know, whipped cream look, but end up still looking like a circle. So I tried with the whipped cream on top, but that's what I pretty much did. And I just took that solid gel and just twisted it on top the best I could, and I also try to add some texture to it, so when I put the polish on top it wouldn't look too bubbly. But again, it still ended up coming out looking like a ball, but I mean, it was still cute. It was still cute. So now the second to last part for this eggnog was I wanted to add a cinnamon stick on the side to kind of accentuate the look of, you know, a real eggnog, like a real cup of eggnog. Later down the line, it ended up snapping off, which I wasn't really mad or surprised because, I mean, it was sticking out like a sore thumb anyways. Like, it was sticking out too much. I could have made it a little bit more shorter or a little bit more flatter, but I was just trying to be cute, trying to make it look like a real eggnog, and it ended up just snapping right off. But it is what it is, you know. And then I ended up doing for the whipped cream, I ended up repainting it twice, and I ended up repainting the mug twice because it was some of the clear of the solid gel that was sticking out. So I did end up repainting it twice just to make the color look more solid. And then for the topping, I wanted to add like a cinnamon look, you know, like, you know, you sprinkle cinnamon on top of a eggnog, right? So I wanted to make it look like cinnamon on top. I did not want to add real cinnamon on top or any type of, I didn't have any brown powder, but I did not want to use real cinnamon because it was going to make a mess. So I ended up just taking some brown polish and just creating little speckles on top, and to me that looked just as good. Now, one thing I will say that I could have done differently with this one is I should have added a little bit more of that creamy yellow color on the outside of the rim of the mug, so you would have seen the eggnog a little bit better. But I mean, yeah, it still came out cool. I did have to tell a lot of people though what it was, because when they was looking at it, they kind of looked at it like, okay, that's cute. It's like, quit lying. You know, you don't know what it is. You don't even know what it's supposed to be. You don't even know if it's a food item, you know. So I tried my best with that one, but if you look really closely, you can see the details, and it was pretty cool. So you know, that's just me. So now for the middle, we're gonna do an apple pie slice, y'all. Now this one was pretty cool. I love this one. So I'm starting off with some of this. It's like a copper holographic glitter polish. I'm gonna go ahead and ombre that down, cure that one. And now we're just gonna take some solid gel, and I'm gonna form like a triangle because I want it to look like a slice. I was gonna do a whole pie, but I felt like it would have been too big, and if I did it too small, I would have to be very, very detailed with it. So I thought a slice would be better because it's not gonna take over the whole nail, which is good. And just pretty much form a triangle on my nails. So then to form the crust on the slice, I went ahead and took some really thin amount of solid gel and I put it along the edge of the crust, and then I took my X-Acto knife and cut that out the way, and then I went ahead and cured it. So now I'm going to take some yellow jelly polish and mix it up with some soft gel, which is pretty much like goop. and I'm gonna mix that in there just to make it a little bit more thicker. I'll also end up adding some brown polish to this as well, just to kind of darken it a bit, so it'll be a little bit more of a deeper, richer color, because I felt like it was a little too yellow. So I did end up adding some brown polish to it, and then after that I took it and put it right on top of these fake apples that I made. And for the fake apples, I just took some of that same polish that I used for the eggnog and just created dots to create like a little texture to it. And then I went ahead and took that polish that I made and put it right on top to help it blend in and make it look like there's actually apples inside of the slice. So now I'm going to take some strips of that solid gel and just going to put it at a diagonal on top of the slice. I'm going to cure that first, paint it with my custom color that I'm going to make for this, and then I went ahead and took some more strips and did it on the opposite direction, and then I'm also going to paint that as well along with the crust that's on the outside of the slice. So now for the last part of the pie, I'm just going to add some more of that gel that I have made for the filling, and I'm going to add it right on top of the crust, and it's going to create that look like it's golden brown, like it just came out the oven. Again, just going to add some really nice detail to this. It's really going to make it a lot more hyper realistic by adding that, and it just made a huge difference. So now for the next nail, we're going to do a s'mores theme. So the first thing I'm doing is my base color, which is going to be brown this time. And I'm not going to add any white specks to this. I'm just going to keep it brown for this one because I feel like the cookies on the s'mores is going to pop out a lot more on it anyways. So I went ahead and did it just with the solid color, and I did end up doing 2 coats of this. So then I'm going to create the s'mores. So I decided to make it look like an open s'more so you can see the marshmallows and the chocolate inside. So I'm going to create 2 squares, which is going to be the crackers. And then I'm going to create that chocolate that looks like that is melted. And I'm going to create a 3D marshmallow on top. So then I'm just taking the same color that I did for the apple pie slice and just painting my crackers with the same color. And then for the chocolate, what I did was that I took some solid gel, like a really thin amount, and I created a square on top of that after I cured the polish, just to make sure that the chocolate kind of like protrudes a little bit, so it's more like 3D. And then I did that with the brown polish, and then I also did some details on the other cracker as well, created those holes that, you know, your regular graham crackers usually have, and I went ahead and cured that as well. So then I'm going to take some solid gel, and I'm just taking a small amount and creating a ball on top, kind of flattening a bit, and I'm going to create that marshmallow. And then I took some white polish and painted it in white, cured that, and then after that I took some black and some brown polish to create that roasted look. You know, like when you take a marshmallow out, it's kind of like burnt a little bit. That's how I like my marshmallows. I be burning them all the way till they black. All right, but I wanted to still have that white poke through, so I just did little splotches on top to just make it look like that it was roasted. So for my pinky, I'm going to be using a pumpkin kind of burnt orange color to create the ombre. And then I'm going to be doing now I was going to do a pound cake on this one, which y'all going to see my first attempt on it. It did not come out the best like I wanted to come out. So I ended up scratching that and I ended up doing a different dessert. I ended up just doing a donut on top because donuts are pretty easy to make. So it ended up being a Christmas donut. But y'all going to see the first one. It was pretty jacked up. So the first thing I was trying to do was I was taking the solid gel and I was going to create a hole in the middle, because you know with pound cakes they usually have a hole in the middle because the type of pan that they cook in, it has like this big thing in the middle that's in the way. So I was going to do that, and then I was taking little pieces of solid gel and I was trying to create kind of like the decoration, like the bumps that the pound cakes give, like, you know, those special pans that have the little dents in the inside, like the little craters or whatever you call them. But when they come out, you know, they have that shape, that bubbly shape, right? So I was trying to do that, and then I was gonna take that polish that I used for my crackers, the graham crackers for the s'mores, and paint over the whole thing. But it was just not coming out good, y'all. Like, honestly, it was looking sloppy. It was looking like it was leaning on one side, and it just wasn't the best looking pound cake that I created. So, and then I was trying to take it off, and I couldn't just like take it off like the way I wanted to, because with this type of gel, solid gel, like I said, it's pretty much like poly gel. It's just so solid that you could pretty much play with it like Play-Doh. So it was like melted into my nail, y'all. So I was struggling trying to get it off, but once I got it off, again, just started back on square one, just end up fixing it and just created a donut. So this was the second attempt of pretty much making this dessert. So instead of doing it as a pound cake, I did it as a donut. I took the same color that I used for the graham crackers, did it on top of the donut, cured that, and then I took some white polish as the frosting and put that right on top of the donut. And then I created green and red sprinkles on it, so it make it look, you know, a little more festive, like a holiday donut pretty much. So that's pretty much what I did on the pinky. And I apologize for the blurriness of the camera. My camera been acting up a little bit, so I don't know why it kept going in and out for the zoom in as far as the focusing. So I apologize ahead of time if you can't really see it too clearly. So then for the thumb, I'm keeping it very basic. So I'm just using the copper color chrome that I did for the apple pie slice, and I'm just gonna do my whole thumb with that. And then for this one, I just created a cross, so to look like a present, like it's a wrap present or something like that. I was trying to do some of that simple theme, so I did it for the thumb because, again, I did not want any 3D art in the way because I use my thumbs a lot and I didn't want nothing getting in the way. I just hate the feeling of something super thick on my thumb. So yeah, kept that very basic. Okay, so after I got finished with the thumbs, y'all, this is how my nails came out. Oh my gosh, these were the best nails that I ever have done this year of 2024. Ended it off. So that's the thumbs there. So the thumbs, again, looks alright, you know, it's pretty decent and this and that. But then once you get to the nails, y'all, the nails are crazy. Okay, so anyways, let's go ahead and go in exactly again what is on my nails. So we got a fruit cake, we got a Christmas Debbie tree cake, we got some peppermints, we got a candy cane, some peppermint circle peppermints, and then we got a gingerbread man on the pinky. I mean, look at the details, y'all. These nails go crazy. Okay, and then on the other hand, we have a Christmas donut, s'mores, a slice of apple pie, and eggnog in a mug with whipped cream and a cinnamon stick that later end up snapping off later on this week. So yeah. But anyways, I just want to thank y'all so much for watching this video. I hope y'all enjoyed watching me do this set, or at least somewhat, you know, was just chilling, eating your popcorn, whatever you was doing while you was watching it. This is a pretty long video, the longest video I have made so far on this channel. So if you stuck around, I really appreciate y'all. With that being said, let's end this year off strong. 2025 is coming ahead, so we got to be prepared, y'all. We got to be prepared for the best or the worst. I don't know what's going to happen, but let's just pray that we get through it. But anyways, y'all have a good one. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and shout out to the ones who already subscribed to my channel. So if y'all already subscribed, thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all from the bottom of my heart, and I cannot wait to see what is to come next year on my channel. I'm really excited for new ideas, new creativity, new randomness, whatever it may be. You know, let's do it. Let's have some fun on here. And again, I appreciate y'all for subscribing to my channel, because I know y'all don't have to, but y'all do, because whatever interest or whatever caught y'all eye on my channel, you know, I just greatly appreciate it. With that being said, I hope y'all enjoy y'all Christmas year. Christmas holiday. I hope y'all enjoy the rest of y'all year, and I will see y'all in my next video, and I'll see y'all next year. All right, peace, deuces, love y'all, and have a blessed day. Goodbye.